am Jitendra Singh. I welcome you to read my story, where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and more. Today, I have with me Miss Kudva. She was born and raised in Mumbai and graduated from Sophia College. Post wedding, she moved to Bangalore, where she taught in a school for more than 15 years, which gave her hands-on experience to handle various types of relationship with students, parents, colleagues, seniors, and friends. She saw young parents neglecting their health and landed up with lifestyle disease. Therefore, she thought and she put this thing into her book, and she wishes to generate awareness on mindful living. She has made herself financially literate in her 50s and therefore wishes to spread awareness on the importance of managing one's own finances from an early age. She is passionate about writing, gardening, cooking, crocheting, and traveling. She used to blog regularly on WordPress for 10 years. She has recently translated her friend's book from Hindi to English, which is Rath Par Naam Tera. Today she will be discussing with us about her life journey. So let us hear from her. Welcome, ma'am. The platform is open and now over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Jitendra. First, I begin by thanking you profusely for giving me this opportunity to share my journey to your subscribers. Yeah, so thank you so much.
And it would be our pleasure to have you. So first thing I'd like to know from you is how your past life has affected the person who you are and what you wanted to be in your life.
See, Jitendra, I had a dad who was very strict disciplinarian, and it was like his word had to be obeyed. So I grew up ऐसे माहौल में where we could not take our own decisions. He was the deciding factor, the head of the family.
Correct.
जैसे एक घर में ना एक लक्ष्मण रेखा, literally we couldn't cross that. It had to be only with his consent. So there were things that I just did not want to do. He was a wizard in finance, and I just didn't want to do finance because I said, no, he's going to watch over me and he's going to put his pressure over me. So I knew exactly what I didn't want. So I didn't want finance at that point of time.
Correct.
So I ended up taking up science in college and graduating in microbiology. Totally a very different field from where my father had no clue about what I was studying. So,
right.
So at least I could do what I wished here in this area.
Right.
After college, most of my friends went on to do their PhD and they became scientists. But my father did not feature on his list. He just wanted to get us married, and of course, I mean, the family I got into is a wonderful family. I have no regrets on that count. My mother-in-law, my father, they were very broad-minded, forward-thinking, and modern. So, I don't think I have any regrets on that count. The trajectory of my life was very different. I knew I could never aspire to be a scientist because I knew that door was closed.
Right.
So what could I do? What could I do under my present circumstances? I just decided to bloom where I was planted. जैसे जो मौका इस तरफ मिलेगा वो मैं ले. So that's how I became a teacher. When my children were after 5 years, when they went to regular school, I joined their school as a teacher, and there I taught for more than 15 years, which gave me a lot of insights into various aspects of life, because I could interact with people very closely.
Correct.
And that helped me to grow and expand my world, actually.
Right.
So this is how the trajectory of my life shaped.
Wonderful. So you never wanted to be a teacher?
No, I don't think that featured on my list when I was in college. No.
Right.
But once I moved to Bangalore and we had kids and all that, then I said that I do not want to waste my life just sitting at home.
Correct.
Kuch to karna padega. And the very fact that I'm a social person, I said, why not take them to school, bring them back, udhar hi padha leti hu bachon ko. Loved interacting with kids. So I said, okay, why not explore that option? And it turned out to be the best decision.
Right.
Because those 15 years have been, lot of growth in those 15 years.
Because that is a learning to yourself as well, because when you are teaching, you are learning from those kids as well.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Great. So moving on to the next one, if I talk about your passion, you like while we were discussing, you told me about few things you are passionate about. I want to hear from you.
Yeah. So see, hobbies एक अलग बात होती है. I'm interested in gardening, crocheting, traveling, reading, cooking. These are the various hobbies. But actually, passion में जो दिल से है, it is like, you know, I have interacted with various youngsters,
Right.
and I've many youngsters in fact, and I keep asking them several questions, and I have come to a point where I know where youngsters are making mistakes. So if I can help them rectify, catch them young and help them rectify those mistakes, so
Right.
that in the long run, that, you know, it will add value to their life. So that is what I'm passionate about.
Right, wonderful. So that's great to hear. So if I talk about your work and experiences, like how you started working and what all you did so far, and how you got into writing.
The thing is, I taught the pre-primary kids, that is at the age of 5 years. But हमारे एक community में एक कहावत है, what you are at 5, you are at 50.
Okay.
तो मनुष्य का जो nature है ना, वो 5 साल में ही fix हो जाता है. Maybe you can mold it consciously later, but the basic traits you can understand by the age of 5.
Okay.
So I always wanted to delve into a child's mind, why they do what they do, and it gave me a lot of perspective in life. You knew exactly, how this child is going to shape up in the years to come. Unka nature, was defined by those 5 years. It was a very impressionable age.
Right.
It's like cement, no? एक बार cement set होता है तो then कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
Correct.
Similarly, their minds can be molded till 5. The basic qualities of their personality
True.
can be molded till 5 years. उसके बाद conscious effort करना पड़ता है to change that. So
Right.
it was very interesting to know about what's going on in their mind. I learned
Yes,
a lot.
really.
In fact,
Correct.
I more than like observing them, it was a learning for me.
Right.
Yes. So actually after that, like having taught for 15 years, I connected the dots backward. यहाँ से, like, looking back, there were so many things that I could, I could share with my readers. So I thought, why not I document it? Why not
Right.
I write about these things?
Right.
Flow of language is pretty good. So if it's a good way to share with people, so that they can learn from my experiences.
Correct.
And that's how I became, I moved. Of course, I used to blog, for 10 years I was blogging, writing on short things, snippets of my life,
Right.
which people were enjoying reading. But then I stopped it after 10 years.
Okay.
And I said, no, it's time to now restart this.
Formalized it.
Yes. So I graduated to, एक step higher from blogging now to writing.
Right.
Yes. So I'm very
then
happy that
then
there's
you started
progression.
working on this thing. And how much time
Yes.
you took to complete your book?
See, last year, like this year is my 60th birthday.
Okay.
So I thought 60th birthday के लिए कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. Like I don't want to keep taking gifts and this birthday का parties, ये वो सब ऊपर का है. There has to be something in depth what I can contribute to the world. तो मैंने मन में ठान लिया, like yes, before my 60th birthday my book should be out.
Right.
And so it just took me exactly 9 months. It's like one delivery, Take 9 months to get this book in my hand.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So to compliment you, like I can say, you don't look 60, you look early 50s.
The thing is, you know what? Everyone my age are not looking 60 these days because we are all living up to 90, So,
Right.
so this is now middle age for us.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Wonderful. You should be like lively within your thoughts. That helps
Yes.
you to look younger. So that is
Yes.
wonderful. So if I talk about your vision, mission, and goal for next 5 to 10 years from now, what do you think
Yeah.
you would like to do, or how you want to shape it up?
Firstly, I want to die with memories, not dreams. तो काफी traveling भी करना है.
Right.
It should not be dreams. अरे ये मन में था यार मगर कर नहीं पाई. ऐसा
Correct.
नहीं होना. I want memories. So whatever I'm doing, it's with mindfully and meaningfully taking decisions as far as I can help.
Right.
Yeah. So vision is in the sense that, like, see, at 60 I could become a writer.
Correct.
So and I have written this book for my grandchildren. So I want many grandparents. If I can write, many grandparents have so many lessons which they can teach their grandchildren.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I want them to, document whatever they want to share, because that's the most invaluable gift from a grandparent to a grandchild. It's a treasure for
Correct.
life.
Correct.
So I want to start a movement where it's called Your Word Forward. Your
Wonderful.
Word Forward. So I hope it can become a mission. This is my vision, and I hope it can turn into a mission where more and more people start, giving these personal gifts instead of just, materialistic things.
Correct. That is what learning comes from.
Yes.
The experiences of our seniors.
Yes. Not only experiences, your learnings and your insights. Turning
Right.
sights into insights. No? Yeah, that is very important, which you can share to your grandchild.
Correct. And that is really a wonderful thought. So if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal and professional life both, what do you think that would be?
Everything in moderation. No excess. No excesses in life. That is the main one fundamental thing which is very important for all human beings. Right?
Correct.
Then time is the real currency of life, not money.
Right.
Time is the right. So, like now, the next few years for me, these are the time when I can travel, say. If that is lost, then even if I have money later, I will not be able to travel.
Correct,
right?
correct.
So that is very, very important. Then I would say what to look and what to overlook in life.
Correct.
Most important is, कुछ सबर करना सीखो, कुछ बर्दाश्त करना सीखो, और बहुत कुछ नजरअंदाज करना.
This is really a wonderful thought.
Yes, this
Correct.
I had heard somewhere in some video long back, but it has stayed with me. See, बहुत कुछ नजरअंदाज करके ही, that's the best way to lead your life.
Correct. And if we
This is-
start practicing this thing in our life,
Yes.
the conflict, the confusions, misunderstanding would be least, and we would be
Yes.
having a wonderful relationship with everybody.
Yes. And see, one more thing I feel is, okay, we have a right to get upset,
Correct.
but it shouldn't be that we stretch it. We should know how to bounce back also.
Correct.
We are humans, we get upset, that is fine. But don't stay upset for long. How quickly you can bounce back. That is very
really
important.
Correct.
Yeah. So these are few of my life lessons which I keep reminding myself, so that it helps me itself, right?
True.
Yeah.
And these are really a wonderful, important life lessons. And this
Yeah.
could change anybody's life if we take it in a way, a positive
Yeah.
way, and start practicing. It will definitely help everyone.
Yes. See, life does not come with a redo and undo button.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we have to keep reminding ourselves that bas yahi final hai. This is it.
Right.
So lead a meaningful life.
Correct. And you were mentioning about the financial literacy you did
Yes.
in your 50s, and also you have mentioned it in your book as well about
Yes.
financial literacy. So my next question is onto it. Why why is the financial literacy so low in India, and that too especially among women?
Correct. So it's really sad that it is low, but I think the next generation will be educated enough to learn to manage their own finances. Maybe till our generation we depended a lot on our fathers, on our spouses, but I think the younger generation, the mindset will change and they will learn to take hold of their finances.
Correct.
I do hope that every woman should know what their finances, what their investments are all about. Because see, life is so uncertain. If you're depending on one person to manage your finances, tomorrow if that person suddenly dies of a heart attack or something like that, then you will have to turn to a person whom you don't even know or you can't even trust. You really
Correct.
don't know.
Correct.
It is better you equip yourself to learn. It's not rocket science. It's very, very simple.
True.
So if they make a beginning somewhere, it's very easy. In a matter of maybe a year, they would have. It's like taking baby steps.
Correct.
You climb the first step, you climb the second step, you climb the third, and slowly you will get used to those terminologies, those things. And if I can do it, I think many can do it. And I do it in my 50s. Yeah. So I encourage that. I wish at least every woman should know about their financial statements, so that if something happens to their spouse, they are in a position to understand and not be taken for a ride.
Correct. And if I talk about women, they are really good at like managing expenses in family.
Yes.
So they
household
do everything.
expenses.
Yeah, and they do saving from those expenses as well.
Correct.
But when it comes to investing, they lack on that part.
Yes. See, mainly because that was supposed to be a man's domain. They were only entrusted with a certain amount of finances which they had to manage for the house. They never put their head into, and more so also the fact that men would also not want to share those details. They didn't want to. So like unke, maybe the wife will shop too much if she knows that the husband has so much of money. So even they would not tell. So all that I think will change in the next generation, where the wife is also equally contributing to the house. Then I think the equation changes.
Correct. It's all about mindset basically. When they start learning these terms, these things, definitely they would be able to do wonders on that field as well. And that is what we should like ask and urge every woman to start learning from some point.
Yes, we have to tap. They have the basic potential. We just have to tap it. The thing is, they should know. Yeah, they should know the basic financial. That's what we say. Financial literacy hona bas.
Basic financial literacy is
so that they are not taken for a ride. If something untoward happens, it should not be that someone has duped them.
Right.
Because they did not know the basic basic things they didn't know. So that is why they were duped of so much of money and all that.
Correct. And also, if we take the data of the financial crimes which are happening, frauds and all, most of them are happening with women.
Correct.
Numbers are really high.
Yes, only because women feel that it is not theirs. ये हमारा काम नहीं है, अब ये उनको करने. The thing is, when it falls on their shoulders, then दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी होता है फिर.
Correct. So moving on to the next one, like what are the financial tools people should understand, know and use to invest, and also what is the right age to start investing?
I think, see, Warren, we cannot be like Warren Buffett who started at 11 years. But अगर थोड़ा pocket money भी मिले ना, उसमें से एक बहुत थोड़ा भी if they learn to invest. Suppose even if they are getting 1,000 rupees pocket money, उसमें से बचा के 100 rupees if they learn to invest, they learn the nitty-gritties of investing. No, they learn to be regular. SIP करो, RD करो, कुछ भी करो. They know, they become disciplined enough to invest every month, and that is the first step. They have to know what it is to set aside a little money from their whatever they get, so that it becomes a habit. That instead of 1,000, I'm getting only 900. वो 100 तो मुझे देखना भी नहीं. So similarly, when it becomes 10,000, 2,000 they can invest. No, वो देखना भी नहीं है. You should just think of that 8,000 mature. So once it becomes a habit, then the mindset automatically changes. And many people, I would love to tell many people that from their first salary itself, they must keep aside money through mutual fund, through SIPs, systematic investment plans. They should keep, maybe one for, mainly one, firstly for retirement, because retirement is a ticking time bomb. And today people are living way into their 90s. So, they have 30 years of work life is 30 years, and retirement could be a looming 30 years again.
Correct.
So in these 30 years, they have to save up for the next 30 years.
Right. You have to spend, you have to manage your expenses
judiciously.
And also you have to plan for your retirement as well.
Yes. So they say generally thumb rule should be that 20% of your savings should be for retirement. कुछ भी हो उससे हाथ नहीं लगाना है.
Right.
And then see, if you have invested from say 25 itself for retirement, by the time you're 35, a substantial sum would be ready. And then the magic of compounding takes over.
Correct.
So by the time you're 60, you would have had a good kitty, a good nest egg, which will see you for the next 30 years of your life if you live. Okay, if you don't, we should not be in a position that our money has outlived. I mean, we have outlived our money. No.
Right.
ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ना. We should be till the last financially independent.
Correct. And also,
I wish people realize that these days in retirement can be as much as the work life. lifetime, 30
Correct.
years.
Correct.
And if you live into your hundreds, then it's 40 years.
Right. And also people should understand that they should invest in a way that their most of the funds when they are young should be towards equity, so that the return could be manageable on a higher side, and they should keep like some portion, less portion in debt initially, more on equity, so that the returns would be higher. And when they start to grow and at a later stage they can keep the balance, then final stage when they are around 50s to 60s, they can keep more points towards debt side. So that is how they should plan their investment. They should, if they should do it in this way, they would be able to make handsome amount for their retirement, and with that point they can do like world tour, they can do cruises, they can do everything whatever they like if they do it in a right way. And also we need to understand the investment which we make. We also need to understand the rate of interest and the inflation also into consideration when we are making any kind of investment. So if rate of interest what we are getting is less than the inflation, then that money would be like
erosion of capital.
Erosion of capital would be there. So you would be requiring higher investment on that point in time. So you should get return beyond the inflation rate.
Jitendra, you have forgotten one very important point, which is the taxes. The taxman will take the taxman will take his cut. Besides inflation, taxes also eat into our.
There. Yes.
And we should also remember that if the household inflation may be 6 to 7% or whatever, but medical inflation and educational inflation is 15% according to business today.
Correct. That is much higher as compared to the normal inflation what we were talking about. So moving back to you again, I can understand you being a teacher. This is not the appropriate question, but still asking. Are you an introvert or an extrovert while facing your audience, and what are the pluses and minuses of the same?
See, I'm basically an extrovert, but you won't believe there are times when I can get tongue-tied. Where I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I would rather keep quiet. I would not want to. When I'm not comfortable, Shanti se baitho. Listen, that is it. Because I'm not comfortable in that environment. There are, introverts have their own plus points because they have basic understanding. Though they are reserved by nature, they are observant. They take calculated. They don't take too many risks. They बहुत सोच के कदम उठाते हैं. So those kind of, there are a lot of plus points in them. They're silent observers. So these are the pluses with them. And of course, because they are introverts, they don't get so much of recognition. People don't tend to interact with them because they feel, better to leave them alone times. So these are the negative parts. And with a introvert, positive outlook is generally the thing. They love to take, they don't mind taking risks. And they don't mind, even taking a stand for certain. If they feel they are right, they will take a stand. So those are the plus points of a extrovert. But the negative point is that, बहुत बोलते हैं तो कम सुनते हैं.
So both have their pluses and minuses. So if I talk about the kind of support you got from your family, friend, colleagues, who were the people supported you the most?
My first circle of family and my first innermost circles of, they are my support, rock solid support, steadfast support. In everything, whenever there was a writer's block, writer's block hota hai na. See, I had first decided to write only 60 chapters. I said 60th birthday, 60 chapters. Magar maine to 100 likha, 108 likha. In the middle I was saying, arey yaar, aur kya likhu. When you get a writer's block, your friends just help you, to overcome that. And then during the publishing phase, lot of my first circle of friends, one helped me with the cover design of the book. One helped me with the topics that I wanted to write about. Like when I was running out of topics, they gave me certain topics. Iske baare mein bhi likho, iske baare mein bhi likho. I think it will be making a lot of sense to youngsters. Then some people helped me with the marketing of my book, and now one is helping me with the UPI payments when I'm launching my book. So all in-house support only I am getting. So I realized realized that, oh God, I didn't know all this is, I had it within my first circle of family and friends itself.
Right.
And I'm really, very thankful to God for that.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And this kind of support from your family and friends definitely motivates you to do better.
Yes, my husband, of course, he was an anchor. He allowed me to, whenever, like suppose say if I could not write in the mornings, if the day was wasted, then I would have to write in the evenings. So at such times he was ready to forego his television serial, whatever serial we were watching on Amazon Prime and all that. He used to say, "Nahi, aaj tumhara kaam nahi hua hai. You can sit in the evening and write." So he was also very cooperative, and I think due credit to him. Yes,
Wonderful.
In many ways he used to say, "Okay, chalo, aaj aap baitho, I will make the tea for you." So in small ways,
Right.
but in those little ways that count, he was there. He held my back.
That is
Without
what
him-
wonderful relationships
Without him,
are all about.
it would be very difficult. Yes.
So if I talk about the motivation and inspiration in life, that is really important. So how you get that?
I have my gurus, that is Mahatriya. I follow his and Sudha Murthy. She's a living example of simple living and high thinking.
Right.
Where they are not. It's value based.
Correct.
Both my guru Mahatriya. If you listen to his videos, and of course if you listen to Sudha Murthy also, it's
Right.
very value based, and that is what I stand for too. So it's not difficult when you have your icons in front of you. You will never think of doing the wrong thing.
Correct.
Yeah, so they are the ones who are my motivators and my inspiration. Yes.
Wonderful. And really, when you have these kind of motivation and inspirations in life, you really get the thing which is kicking you from behind
Yes.
and motivating you
Yes.
to do something great in life.
Yes, at least not to do the wrong things.
Right.
Because
That is also
that is important.
correct. That is
Yes.
also really, really important.
Correct. Even if you tend to thoda deviate karke, then immediately you get back on path because this is what you want to. This is what you
True.
want to be. You want to follow. Yes.
True. That is important. So
That's why everyone should
Yes.
have role models. Everyone should have, because they
Correct.
motivate you to be the best that you can be.
correct. Everyone should have some or the other motivators in their life,
Yes.
inspiration in their
Yes.
life, so that whenever
Yes.
they are kind of feeling odd time, entering
Yes.
into odd time, they can get something
Yes.
from those people to inspire them, motivate them,
Yes.
and make
Yes.
them challenging in a way. They should
Correct.
start feeling that they should do something to
Yes.
make it better.
Correct.
So
Yes.
that is really wonderful thing. And if I talk about success, what do you feel about success? How does it look like to you?
Success to me is a combination of A plus B plus C plus D plus E. काफी कुछ factors है to call a successful life.
Right.
Could be, relationships, health, finance, career, a loving spouse, good friends. All these अपनी जगह में बहुत महत्व रखता है.
Correct.
Only when, you cannot be, as I said, you cannot be 101 and 0 in the other. Satisfaction नहीं होता.
True.
If you don't have health, you cannot enjoy. If you don't have good relationships, no man is like an island, no? You need people around you.
True.
Right. If you don't have a great career, if you everything is important to, the sum total of which makes a person a successful life. नहीं तो happiness quotient definitely कम हो जाता.
Correct. Agree with that.
You have to have minimum 35% mark in each of these aspects. Minimum 35. जैसे school में था.
To qualify.
Yeah, to qualify. Yes.
Right.
It cannot be 20 and 80. It cannot be. Passing mark minimum चाहिए ही.
Right. So that is really important. So I usually we are moving on to the last question, and in this question I usually ask to share any message or advice with our audience. But in our case, I would like you to share some of the learnings from your book.
Right. See, I have interacted with a lot of youngsters, and I can tell you the mistakes they tend to make. First and foremost is erratic food habits.
True.
They काफी 3 बजे 4 बजे. I mean, they don't care, and then they are on antacids because irregular food habits.
Correct.
And some of them either eating too much or eating too little, exercising too much, exercising too little. So they end up with these youngsters end up with lifestyle diseases in their 30s itself. So that is one thing they have to be mindful of.
True.
Right? That is the first thing. Second thing which I have found from many youngsters is I ask them, when I talk to them and I interact with them, I ask them, do you have a personal health insurance? You won't believe, Jitendra, 7 out of 10 people do not have a personal health insurance. They have a
Okay.
company insurance. They have a company insurance of 2.5 lakh. But आजकल medical inflation इतना बढ़ गया है that
Correct.
2.5 lakhs is nothing.
Not
They
sufficient at all.
have, it's not sufficient. So I urge youngsters to have a personal health cover, a basic, because when they buy a health cover, soon as they start earning, premium बहुत कम हो जाता है.
Correct.
And the same, if you buy 25, your premium is so less. But if you buy 35, 40, your premium is so much more.
Correct.
So, and what happens if they are in between jobs? They are not covered for that little point of time. And if there is an accident and all, God help, it just takes one illness to bring you down from, to, my God, like 5 lakh, 10 lakh, you never know how much can get wiped out.
Yes.
So I urge that everyone should be under an insurance, a personal health cover umbrella.
Right.
That is the second mistake that I see them making. So these are the two, and of course the third is about financial. Save 20% for retirement.
Right.
And invest in equity, like invest in mutual funds. If you're scared, because that is a safer way. A fund manager will take decisions for you. You don't have to take decisions. So
Right.
that is a safer way of invest. But invest in mutual funds, because if you say that equity is risky, inflation is riskier. So that will eat into your capital, and then you will not have, you will outlive your money, which should not happen. So start young, save regularly, save wisely, and have a good quality of life. Take in, the 3 things which are important: health, be mindful of your health,
Right.
be mindful of your relationships, and be mindful of your finances.
Correct.
If you take care of these 3 things, I think the sum total, you'll have a good, healthy
Wonderful life.
Yes,
Some
a
people would be
wholesome
wonderful life.
A wholesome
life. Right.
Yes, yes.
And that was really wonderful on that part, because we should have all these 3 things in our life. So
Correct.
that is really important. And I must say it was amazing talking to you. You have shared so many insightful thoughts and life learnings also. It was great hearing you about all these things. I really enjoyed our conversation. Looking forward to hear more from you soon again. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Kala, ma'am,
Thank you.
for your
I will.
wonderful-
I will just show you.
Yes.
I just show you a gist about my book. My book is My Life Hacks, and it is available on Amazon.
Right.
Yes. So I would urge youngsters to read about it so that they make fewer mistakes.
Right.
If they take timely, if they act on it timely.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. So thank you so much, Kala ma'am, for your time. It was wonderful having you on our platform. And also, I would share your website and social media link along with the link of the book, so that people can be in touch with you, take help and guidance from you, and learning from your book as well. So guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye.
Thank you.